I did National Night Out. This is National Night Out in all the neighborhood watches, but I got to 4 of them before I got here. I started at police headquarters at 4, and then we went to 4 different meetings. But this is very important to me, as you all know. It's been important to me since 2008 when I was elected. And so far as Joe Frank, he's the first one that wants development there. Let me just assure you. And the reason I say that is when I came on council, the plans came through and it was a whole bunch of condominiums. And that's the same thing the guy was, well, he wanted higher price. But Mr. Frank was very much in favor of developing and still is. He was the one who got the unsolicited bid. So I just want to correct that. We have to learn to count to 4. Right now we're at 3. And I tried to tell everybody before elections, and I've told him if he doesn't honor his promise, he's got trouble with me. He doesn't want that. I've been to Pittsburgh at a National League of Cities, and I took their tour of their park system. They have 150 parks throughout that city. Now, they're bigger than we are, yeah, but not that much bigger. And 5 of them are conservancy parks that are, everything on them has to do with the environment and heat and just wonderful, wonderful. And they have classes, they have everything in these parks. The one person that was from Newport News that I met there was in the downtown park. Right in the center of downtown is this huge cement floor. And they have water, effects, they have light effects, and that whole place can be closed off by these curtains. They have weddings there, they have, reunions there. There are little places there from all the different countries that you can go and buy food from each one of them. Their system of parks is unbelievable, and these are throughout the city, in neighborhoods. So what we're asking is for this one big, we don't have anywhere near the park space that is mandated, really, by the Parks and Recreation Association. I have a paper that thick that lists the beneficial effects on the citizens of having a park like Riverview Farm Park. For psyche, and I go down there practically every day because we walk my daughter's dogs down there at the dog park. And I've met photographers there. The whole photography department told me, the one guy said, we come down here every day to take wonderful shots of that little, walkway out. The potential is just unlimited. But the problem with the city council is they want some revenue. And that's what's happening. They can have some revenue. My friend over here, who is a runner, what was it you suggested for them?
A cross-country course.
A cross-country course.
All the hills. We don't have any hills around here. We would have the only course of that kind, not only south side but the peninsula.
Right. And
so actually uses it to train on it now.
Yeah. Yeah. I've designed 4 courses on it. Mitchell has their home course on it. So the hills are really important.
Very important.
All the public and private schools in the area run their state championship meets on courses with hills. And so it would be a good resource for that to be a public course for use of everybody, and nothing would be...
They come and they go to motels, they go to hotels, they eat. Yes. Another thing that we want involved is our children.
Yes.
That when the high schoolers came down and the college kids came down and spoke to council, it was very effective. That's what we need to hear, and we need to get these students, because I see them out there all the time, and I talk to them when I go. So we have to figure out a way that there will be some revenue like that. A place where, concrete place where people could have reunions, get married, that kind of thing. That would be the process. But what we have now is that the planning department has engaged the international, is it Al, International?
American Planning Association.
American Planning Association to be part of that. Well, that's fine, but you know, Newport News is very unique. And I'm not sure the American Planning Association are the people to come in here and tell us what we should do. Certainly they want to be part of it, and that's okay. But I believe that the citizens know what they want. And I believe we can make it a revenue producing in the right ways. When I said we have 3 votes, we do have one more vote, and that I'm pretty sure of. He works with kids a lot, so he wants something up there, you know, that is friendly to kids. And I know John Dawson has many times advocated for the, you know, a place where kids can go and learn to sail, can learn to swim, a center, you know, that they learn water things. They learn all about what is it, paddleboarding? Is that one of them? Kayaking, all of that. So we've got the ideas and we know what we want. And I think it's important that we stick to it. But we've got to get some kids down there because they are the future, and that they're going to say, I want my family to have this park, and I want to be part of it. There's never been any question in my mind, and I've had about 3 or 4 developers come and want to meet with me. One person wants to make it like, you know, build condos and that kind of thing, like the place down at Buckrow Beach Inn. So, and then I had a person come to me and said, oh, I don't need to talk to you because I want somewhere to retire and downsize from my house. So I want it to be developed. She is a member here. But there are plenty other places that I feel like that could happen. It does not need to happen there. So I don't know what you want to hear from me. I did talk to Mike Popolowski, who is head of our Parks and Rec. And how many of you saw the article in the paper Sunday? Yeah, I have it here if anybody wants it. It's all about the archaeological dig. And the good news is, they have done the underground, you know, search for where things are, where they think they are, and they have now dug off the topsoil of about 20,000 acres, you know, and what he tells me is they are finding, well, you saw they found that brick, and that's in the paper, and I think a picture of it is in the paper. But what I want you to know is there is also a Warwick Town website. How many of you been to that? Have you ever looked at that? That is showing you the maps and what they think is there and what the history of it is. But I think what you need to do is to know that we've got to keep everything, and you got to keep involved. I remember a group called Retro when I first got on the council. Retro was very active in analyzing the budget, talking about tax relief, talking about lowering the tax rate. And some of the people laughed and said, oh, they'll be gone in 2 years. And that's what they're hoping for this group. So don't let it happen. That is the only thing. You must keep involved. You can't let, and unfortunately Retro did die, but it wasn't 2 years, it was about 5. So in about 5, they've got about 5 more weeks of work out there, according to Mike Kowalski. Then, at the 1st of September, he told me today, they will be organizing tours. And that there will be one archaeological person there for the tours. You will have to sign up for them, and they will take you in and explain what they have found and what they think is significant about it, and the archaeologists will be there to answer your questions. So he said by the 1st of September at the latest, these tours will start.
So we need to be there for those too.
Yes, yes indeed.
Voicing our desire for that to be a part at the tour too.
Yeah. So, that's where I am. That's where I've always been. That's where I plan to be. So,
Thank you, Pat. Thank you so much for your time and interest and support in this issue. We really appreciate it. I'm going to read questions that have been received from the audience addressed to, and they'll all be addressed to both of you, so just take turns answering. Whoever wants to answer first, or if you want to fight over it, I can decide. Okay. First of all, I have some questions that members of the board of directors of Citizens for Riverview Park have put together. So I'll start with those, and I think this first one, maybe you've already done it, but we'd love to hear it again. The question number one, will you both please reaffirm that you are categorically opposed to residential development at City Farm?
cross my heart and hope
I am categorically opposed to residential development of Riverview Farm Park.
Thank you. Can you hear them if they don't hold the mic? Is it working? Okay, great. Second question I have here is, what does, quote, mixed use, unquote, mean? What do you both think can be done to prevent other council members from pushing a mixed use designation to get residential development at City Farm? What steps could you take, and what steps would you recommend that we would take to counter the mixed use possibility?
Well, when I've been visiting with councilmen already, what I've tried to express to them is that mixed use is not going to work. And it's not going to work because people wanting homes on the river want a degree of exclusivity, a degree of privacy, and it's simply not going to be afforded them living right next door to a public park. It is not the way our city needs to go. Also, although some people have talked about how we have a need for upper-end housing in Newport News and how we need more luxury homes, and frankly, I think we do, this is not the right place for that. There's not enough land, there's not enough opportunity to put in a development like the city of Newport News needs.
How about the wonderful aroma from the sewage treatment plant?
That might be a factor too. But I think that by talking to people and getting to know them a little bit better, and I've been working on that since I was elected, we can resolve some of these issues. I don't believe that other council members have their heart in the wrong place necessarily. They just need to learn more about the issue, and I believe that they are convincible that this is the right thing to do. Another thing that people are legitimately concerned about is they're concerned about how much this park is going to cost, and they want to make sure that it makes sense financially. And I think that there are things we can do out at Woodbury Farm Park to generate a little revenue to help the park pay for itself. We've heard about things like, for example, kayak rentals and boat rentals and things like that. We've had several people talk to us about having a venue out there where you can have civic meetings and where you can have weddings and things like that. It's a beautiful place on the river for things like that. And there are opportunities, while keeping it apart, to be able to have a little bit of revenue coming into the city to where it pays for itself. And again, as we learn more about these things, I think people will change their minds on this. And I think we will come to a consensus, and I think that we are able to win this fight.
Thank you.
He's new, he's much more wise than I am.
Do you want me to repeat the question?
No, that's all right. I think we're gonna have to fight to the bitter end, I really do. The voting box is the best place to be. There's gonna be another election in 2 years. And in 4 years, there'll be one for mayor, because we don't have the mayor's vote right now, I can tell you that. And I know the person who's going to run. I know at least one that's going to run. I know several probably. But for me, what I'm going to say to that person is, if you're not on board with this group, you're not going to get my support, just as it is in this time. And so speaks volumes. They're gonna want your support. And you gotta either pick Dave or you pick somebody else. Several developers, there are people on the council that have a lot to gain by some development out there. So you've just got to make sure that they take the kind of promise you just ask us to take, whoever is running. And don't believe, make sure they're really, as I told Dave, I would call him David if I ever saw that he was not doing what I thought he was doing. So if you hear me calling David, that's what the problem is. But no, it's going to be a bit of fight. And I think you have to, I saw that list that the old committee came up with, the City Farm Committee, and there's some wonderful suggestions on it and some good revenue producing suggestions on that list. How many of you have seen it? The one that John Nelson came up with? I think you need to get that out, get it out to all these members, let them see some of the ideas.
It is on our website. It's the, what's the name of the plan? The Denby something plan?
The Deep Creek Menchfield plan.
Deep Creek Menchfield plan, and it's on our website.
But you need to rename it.
You
need to say what it is. And because people wouldn't, I wouldn't go there to look at that, I'm not interested in that. But if it's Riverview Farm Park development and plans, that's who you need to do that. You also need to every day, because it's on the Parks and Recreation website, and it's also on, what did he send me? The Historic Warwick Town Facebook. They have a Facebook page that's updated daily about what's happening. They have the plans for that, so that needs to go up on your website as well. And the Facebook in particular, because they update it every day. But I think it's going to be a tough sell, because money is money. Money talks. I don't like to think that way, but that's what it is. And there are a lot of developers who want to get their hands on that. So
Thank
that's
you.
my answer.
Could you use the mic so it'd pick up better on the video?
Okay, if you all wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, Rob.
Yes.
Can I ask the audience a real quick question?
Sure.
Excuse me for going out of turn, but does everybody in here check the Citizens for Riverview Farm Park Facebook page? Because we've got a real good Facebook page, and we've been putting things on there like ideas, visions of what could be at the park, and we've gotten quite a bit of response on some of the things.
And we want you to add your ideas.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, this is a pertinent question that we've been asking City Council for a couple of years, actually. When will City Farm be designated as park by City Council? We've been pressing for an official resolution from City Council that the City Farm will remain a part of Riverview Farm Park for 2 years. Is that asking too much? We have
I don't think so at all.
6,500 signatures.
Right. What I think you have to realize is that I asked Bert Bateman as his exit, and he always said he was for the farms, and I said, put your money where your mouth is and make a motion and bring it to a vote. You would leave your legacy of a good thing if you would do that, and he did not do it. What we've got to do is make sure we've got 4 votes before and I'll make the motion, you can second it so it gets heard. And as I said, I know of one other that really wants it to be a park. That's as much as I can count on, but I know that the person who's one of the people planning to run for mayor, I think if they know that this is a big issue, they better get on board now, so far as I'm concerned. And I know 4 years doesn't sound like a long time. I mean, it does sound like a long time, but it really isn't when it comes to this. But what we need is assurance of 4 votes, and then I can make the motion, he can second it, and we go. So work on the people now. Will you vote for this if we put it to a vote? And that's going going to be critical.
I'll be glad to second Pat's vote, Pat's motion. I don't know when we're going to be able to get this resolved. I'm hoping that people will see the light within the next couple of years. They realize this is an important issue to the voters. It was an important issue that came up at every single candidate forum during the last election. I urge you to keep up the pressure. It makes it easier for them to say yes to making this a park when they know that you're active. I would love to have this fight over with, but it sometimes takes a little bit of time to get things done. One of the things that Governor Northam used to say when he was running, and it's one of my favorite quotes, is if you can't change their minds, change the seats. Okay, so I agree with Pat that if we cannot change their minds in the next couple of years, we need to change their seats and get some new faces on council. Thank you.
Thank you. What's the next step in the process after the public hearing on the draft comprehensive plan? When will city council vote on the plan? Is that known yet? Will they vote that day? Will it be a month? Will it?
I think it's the next meeting. You have to do the public hearing first and then, I'm sorry. You have to do the public hearing first and then we vote on it after, the
So
next
2 weeks
meeting.
later?
I think 2 weeks later.
21st?
No, I'm sorry. It's the 14th where we'll hear. It's not, we don't have a meeting in August,
Okay.
so it will be September.
Okay, great. So we should all be there for the vote, that'll happen in your private meeting before, for the open?
It has to be
Has to be in the open.
It has to be an open meeting,
Okay.
yeah, but
So
it has to have.
Put
the
that
pub-
on your calendar.
It will be on 9/11, so you can remember that day.
9/11.
9/11 is the day.
Hope we don't have that many bodies. I hope we do have that many bodies down there.